And let's have some fun, baby. Yeah! Welcome to the Berman Golf Podcast, where we're helping golfers over the age of 60 increase distance off the tee so that they can hit shorter irons into the green. Yeah, baby. You can visit us at bermangolf.com for more information and get ready. This is going to be a fun one. And we are back with the Long Balls Golf Podcast. Dr. Jake Berman here, founder and inventor of the Berman method of golf performance, where we help golfers move better so they can hit the ball further, strike the ball more consistently, and play more frequently without nagging aches and pains. Today, I want to talk about the 4 boxes. The 4 boxes concept is something that every amateur golfer should be thinking about, because if you check the 4 boxes, then it will make your misses less dramatic, because it's all about, as an amateur golfer and as a golfer, period, it's all about how bad are your bad shots, because we're all going to hit the good shots, right? The problem occurs when your bad shots are really bad, right? It's really hard to score good. It's really hard to scramble when your bad shots are bad. So this concept is something that I learned from Case, our PGA pro, where when you check the 4 boxes before you ever even hit the golf ball, before the club face ever hits the golf ball, when you inevitably do make a bad shot, it makes the result less bad. So we're going to talk about that real quick. Before we do that, I want to do a quick side note. I don't talk about our physical therapy practice very much on this podcast. However, we got this new gadget in the clinic now that is absolutely amazing for plantar fasciitis and golfer's elbow and tennis elbow. So I work with a ton of golfers who struggle with plantar fasciitis, golfer's elbow, tennis elbow. And this new gadget we have, it's called Shockwave, has been getting phenomenal results. So I don't want to talk too much about it here because I want to keep this golf related. However, make sure you check the show notes here and reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns about chronic plantar fasciitis, golfer's elbow, tennis elbow. Reach out to me, and I would love to talk to you more about this thing, because it is getting ridiculously good results on alleviating that pain. So back to what I wanted to originally talk about today, which is checking the 4 boxes. You must think about the 4 most important things to think about before the club head ever even runs into the golf ball. Is box number 1 is your grip, right? This kind of goes back to, I know I've referenced John Rahm's interview a few times over the past few months on this podcast, where they were interviewing him right before he was going back to defend his Masters win. And one of the things that Rahm said on the podcast, what was the biggest difference between amateur golfers and elite golfers? And he says the amount of time that elite golfers are willing to invest before they ever even start swinging. And he's went on to elaborate the basic fundamentals: alignment, setup, grip, all of those things that we tend to not focus on, where these are the most important things. So now we're going to make it even simpler. What are the 4 boxes that you need to check off that will make your bad shots less bad? Number 1 is grip. I know it sounds so simple, and I know that you can get tired of hearing it. However, so many amateur golfers just don't even put the time in that they should be putting into grip. And I'm going to try not to do a horrible job at describing this. The most common thing that we see in the office, and I just learned this over the past few months working with Case, because he's PGA pro and he knows all the technical stuff of the golf swing versus me. I'm just a biomechanics guy, so I don't really know the technical aspects of it. So the most common thing that Case sees people do wrong is palm the grip or the handle. So the actual club shaft or the grip is in your palm versus your fingers. And what it does is it makes it almost impossible to have a good wrist hinge. It makes it impossible to, biomechanically impossible to get that hinge to allow the hands to quote unquote release. So box number one is making sure your grip is where it should be. Box number two, this one is such a low-hanging fruit that is unreal. Box number two is ball placement. Now, you can get different theories on where the ball should be as far as center of your stance for a 7-iron and then back and forward depending on if it's a shorter or longer club. The thing that I see most amateur golfers do wrong, though, is when you have a 8, 9, or wedge in your hand, you've got the ball so far forward in your stance that it almost makes it inevitable to hit behind the ball or top the ball because the club is too short. So when I say this to people, nobody ever believes me that the ball is too far forward until I come from behind, or I put the alignment stick from behind in between your legs, pointing right at the golf ball, and you can see, holy cow, the ball is definitely to the left of my zipper for right-handed golfers. It's like, you cannot argue with that alignment stick and where it is in relation to your left heel to your right heel. So being able to overcome that mental visual block and putting the ball in the right spot is crucial. So box number one, check your grip. Box number two, spend some more time really focusing on your ball placement. Box number three, this is a really tough one to figure out on your own, and you're just going to have to put reps in, alignment sticks, mirrors, pictures, videos, until you can really get a handle on this. And even when you do get a handle on it, you're going to need to keep checking it consistently over and over again. And it is your alignment. So making sure that your feet, hips, and shoulders are all in proper alignment, meaning that a lot of older golfers, as you get older, you lose shoulder turn, you're losing hip mobility, and you start doing these compensatory things where you're opening your stance or you're dropping one foot behind the other. You're doing these things that your golf pro is telling you to do to help you compensate for your limited range of motion in your shoulders, your thoracic spine, your hips, whatever it is. The problem is that now you've started a compensatory movement or a compensatory setup, which is going to lead to a compensatory movement, which makes it almost freaking impossible to have a consistent shot over and over again. Because your brain knows what you're trying to do. Your brain knows that your feet are pointing left and your shoulders are pointing right, and you want the ball to go straight. And it's going to go, what in the world? The only thing that I can do is come over the top. There's no other option than to come over the top. You're not physically capable of doing it. So box number one is grip. Box number two is ball placement. Box number three is alignment. Take your time, put some alignment sticks down, get the reps in, and trust it. That's the most important thing for box number three, is once the alignment sticks are showing that you're in the right direction, now you have to trust that you're pointing in the right direction, and you don't try to manipulate the club because you don't trust it. Number four, by far the most important box. This one gets at least 50%, if not 75% of my clients in trouble. Box number four is tempo. You've got to have the right tempo. At least 50% of the guys that I work with over the years, your backswing is way too fast. And the problem is that if you don't give yourself enough time to finish the entire movement of the backswing before you start the downswing, then you're off balance. And it's almost impossible to get to your front leg. It's almost impossible to shift your weight at the right time. And then it really does become a timing issue over and over again. So you've got to give yourself enough time to finish the entire movement of the backswing before you initiate the downswing. So tempo is king. And the example that I've given a few times on this podcast is say your first name and middle name out loud, and that is how long it should take you to finish or get to the top of the backswing. Then the downswing is just your last name. Now, obviously, there's going to be some unique names out there, and this doesn't really work that well when you have a unique name. So use my name instead. My birth certificate name is Michael Jacob Berman. So what I do is I'll literally say it out loud on the driving range. Michael Jacob. That's the entirety of my backswing. Michael Jacob Berman. When I say Berman, I'm initiating the downswing with my body. I'm keeping my core engaged. I'm getting through the golf ball. But I'm not trying to rush Berman. I'm taking my time with Michael Jacob Berman. Michael Jacob Berman. You've got to take your time and make sure you give yourself enough time to finish the backswing. Just 2 weeks ago or so, I was working with one of my clients and we equated it to the waltz. I'm waltzing to the right, waltzing to the left, waltzing to the right, waltzing to the left. If you try to waltz to the left before you finish waltzing to the right, then biomechanically you get stuck on your right side and you can't do it. You can't get the proper weight shift, so it doesn't allow you to get over there. So box number 1, grip. Box number 2, ball placement. Box number 3, alignment. Box number 4, tempo. If you can mark off all 4 of those boxes every single time, it will make your bad shots that you inevitably hit. We all hit bad shots. Even the guys on TV on Sunday, they hit bad shots. When we inevitably hit that bad shot, it's going to make it less bad. It's going to make it suck less. It's going to make it that much more playable. The problem is when you only mark off 2 of the boxes, or worst case, you only mark off 1 of the boxes. When you don't mark off all 4 boxes, then it makes your miss that much worse. And I see it time and time and time again in the simulator room when I'm working with clients where you just rush it. You don't really take the time to make sure that your grip and your ball placement is good every single time because we're banging ball after ball after ball. You don't take the time to make sure that your alignment is there. And then the biggest killer is tempo. When you're so focused on your grip, ball placement, and alignment that you completely forget about tempo. Obviously, that's not easy. If this game was easy, we all would be playing on Sunday and making tons of money doing this. However, the more cognizant that we can be of checking off all 4 boxes every single shot, it's going to completely change your overall outcome. It's going to completely change your overall enjoyment. And what you'll start to notice is when you hit the bad shots that are actually bad, you're going to go, oh crap, I only marked off 2 of the boxes, or I only marked off 3 of the boxes. And it's a direct correlation. When I'm watching my clients hit balls in the office or in the simulator room, the miss that is horrible, they marked off 1 box. They looked at their grip, didn't even look at ball placement or alignment, and tempo was crap. It was a horrible miss. Sometimes the simulator doesn't even pick it up because it was that bad. But if you do 2 out of the 4 boxes, then it's like, whoa, at least the ball got up in the air. It's not playable, but it's up in the air. And then when you mark off 3 out of the 4 boxes, it's like, wow, that was not what I wanted, but I can still kind of scramble there. And then when you mark off 4 out of 4 boxes and you hit your quote unquote bad shot, then you're like, oh, it wasn't perfect, but it's really not bad. I'm still putting for birdie there, or I still got a chance at a par putt. So make sure that you mark off or you check all 4 boxes every single time. It's going to increase the amount of time it should take between hitting golf balls, right? Because you're going to have to focus more time on it. And then you're going to have to just accept the better results, right? Check off all 4 boxes before you ever make a swing. Putting included, grip, ball placement, alignment, tempo, grip, ball placement, alignment, tempo. Do it over and over again, and your bad shots will be less bad. Cool. That's all I have for you today. Make sure you like and subscribe to this. Share this episode with somebody that you know does not take the time to check off all 4 boxes. And make sure you email me. Let me know if you got any questions about the shockwave, plantar fasciitis, tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, adhesive capsulitis, shoulder issues, anything. Just let me know and I'll say, yeah, it's worth your time, or no, it's not worth your time. And like always, make sure you check out the T-Shot Transformation. This program is absolutely amazing. Link is in the show notes. You do not want to miss out. We're actually making it better than ever right now because it's in a new membership area and we're constantly adding value to this program. So make sure you check it out, T-Shot Transformation. And until next time, thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in this week. For more information, please go to bermangolf.com. That's B as in boy, ERMAN, bermangolf.com, and check out a ton of stuff that we have there. Or even better, go to our socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. We're even on TikTok. Check us out everywhere. We've got tons of content going out every week. And please give us a thumbs up. Comment on the videos. Let me know what your questions are. Try to shoot holes in this. I'll do whatever I can to help you out the best that I can. Thank you, guys.